Hey everybody, how are you doing? Today we're reviewing the 2020 Nissan Kicks. These Nissan Kicks and other great cars are available for sale at AKAGERA Motors Rwanda. Check out their website through the link in the video's description, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact them. The Nissan Kicks is a subcompact crossover sport utility vehicle or SUV. The Nissan Kicks was first unveiled as a concept car in 2014. Then production models went on sale in 2017 and 2018. And understandably, the Kicks is still in its first generation, and the one we have here is the 2020 model year. This car's exterior is finished in silver metallic paint, and the interior is all black. Here is the car's key fob with the lock, unlock and panic buttons on the front and a Nissan logo on the back. There is also a mechanical key that we'll use to start the engine. The Kicks we have here is on the lower end of the feature and equipment spectrum. Inside on the lower half of the driver's door panel there's a speaker and storage, and on the upper half there's the usual power mirror controls, power door locks and power window controls. Insert the key into the ignition and turn to fire up the engine. Now with the engine running, let's turn on the headlights, high beams, as well as the hazard lights and take another quick look around the vehicle. Also note that all four windows are powered, but only the driver's window is one-touch automatic. I'll also go ahead and pop the hood so that we can check out the engine bay. Up front, halogen bulbs are used for the daytime running lights, high and low beams, as well as the turn signals. Some units are also equipped with fog lights. The power plant in this car is a naturally aspirated 1.6-liter inline 4-cylinder that produces 120 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. All four tires are 205 by 60 with 16-inch steel wheels with plastic hubcaps. Around the back of this vehicle there are halogen tail lights, turn signals and reverse lights. Back inside, the two front seats are manually adjustable. There's a diamond stitching pattern on all 5 seats that I think make these seats look much more expensive than they really are. The steering column manually tilts by undoing the lever below it that you push back to lock the steering column in place after you're done making the necessary adjustments. The two buttons on the left of the stereo system are used to cycle between the different audio sources in the car. Those audio sources include AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth and an auxiliary jack. On the right side we have buttons for the display and Bluetooth hands-free operations. And from there you can dial a number or call a number from the phone book. Below that is a tune and select knob. Back to the left we have a volume knob with integrated on and off functions. Next to that we have a giant settings button. In the settings we have audio settings, and from here you can adjust the bass, treble, fade and balance of the sound output. You can also enable or disable the speed sensitive volume as well as turn on the bass boost. Next we have the usual clock settings, language settings and Bluetooth settings. And from the Bluetooth settings you can pair a new device or delete an existing device. You can also set the value for the Bluetooth ringtone volume. After the settings button there are buttons for the next and previous track function. There is also a button that toggles between daytime and nighttime viewing by dimming the display. Below that there are buttons for the 6 preset stations. Moving on to the climate controls, in the middle we have a knob that controls the fan speed. The knob on the left is used to adjust the air direction and turn on the front windshield defroster. Next there are buttons for the AC and the rear defroster between the two knobs. And the other two buttons are for the air recirculation. The knob on the right is used to adjust the temperature inside the cabin. Below the climate controls we have a USB and auxiliary port as well as a 12-volt power outlet. In the middle there's the gear lever for the 5-speed manual transmission in this car. Also available is an automatic CVT. Further back we'll find the traditional parking brake and two cup holders right beside the parking brake. There's also an extra 12-volt outlet and an additional cup holder. On the left spoke of the steering wheel we have the usual media controls with the volume buttons and next and previous track function, an audio source button and buttons for the Bluetooth hands-free operation with integrated voice command. Next in the gauge cluster we have the speedometer and tachometer and a tiny screen in the middle that is controlled by that button to the left of the steering wheel. Using that button you can cycle between the time, trip information, fuel consumption and average speed information. You can also use the button in the speedometer to adjust the brightness of the instrument cluster by turning it clockwise or anti-clockwise, or press it to switch between the odometer and trip A and B in the lower part of the screen. On the roof liner we have the usual reading lights / dome lights. There is also a Bluetooth microphone in the middle. There are sun visors on either side of the car and vanity mirrors integrated in all of them. Next we move on to the mirror adjustments on the driver's door panel, and the very first button is used to select which mirror you want to adjust and use the following set of buttons to make the necessary adjustments. Now let's shut down the engine and check out the rest of the vehicle. Space in the second row of the Nissan Kicks is surprisingly decent for a car of this size, even for adults. Back here there's the usual reading light on the roof liner. I also like the flat-bottomed steering wheel in this car. Next we move on to the back of the Nissan Kicks. Press the button above the license plate area to open the tailgate, and you'll be greeted with a decent loading area. Back here you'll find the light to aid with dark conditions. Below the loading floor we'll find the full-size spare tire and the tire changing equipment, as well as the emergency warning triangle. Lastly, we move on to the front passenger seat in the Nissan Kicks. In here we'll find the standard glove box and the usual owner's manual inside. I'd also like to mention these two air vents on either side that I think look really cool. With that said, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. Also subscribe for more great car reviews. See you in the next one.